I mean, just hyper abundant.
This
Yeah,
is awesome.
it's effective.
I wish this.
Quarter beef.
This is the true medicinal comfrey.
You got some bumblebees going to town.
Yeah, they love it. Because it seemed like it could be that family sanctuary. Beauty from the food forest. This thing blew over. Oh man. Oh. I had the thing up at the storm and it blew it. It fell on my Principia. Yikes. Well, this is a angry Principia right here. It puts out a beautiful little red cherry, which I have not seen yet. And it has some little hardy kiwis down in here.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of waiting for them to coax them out of the morning sunshine. I wasn't sure. They say they don't really like that much sun, so I was kind of playing it safe. I gotta pin her back. She's not happy. These are wild raspberries here, and even so, they had some pretty decent size to them. And there was just a couple, and I just kind of let them go, and now it's like this whole bend here, wrapping around the apple trees, and it's pretty ridiculous. It's just, that's kind of the story with the raspberries. They just go crazy. So that's probably, one of my biggest advice is just see what kind of style it likes. You know, like up here, it's much drier. So you have a lot of these these wildflowers here that make it, but not a lot of other things make it.
Did you start the columbines? Are they coming up?
The columbines are natural here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They always just kind of find their way. Here's a really cool catnip. And this is kind of like this interior culinary garden that I wanted to, you have this idea of like veggies and fruit. I mean, not fruit, but more like all the rows of veggies, and it would just get decimated by one, the grass, and two, chipmunks, deer, rabbits. They would just come in and just beat up everything. But then I started to realize what they don't like, and it was like raspberry, there's some butterfly bush, there's a lot of sorrel, lots of actually, lemon sorrel. So I've kind of just let this become a wild garden. There's definitely some comfrey here. There's a lot of comfrey back in the corner. There's grapes coming through on the trellis here. I have asparagus, some mullein, a lot of rhubarb, and then last year I decided to plug in these fruit trees. I thought, let's just do it. I can work around the shade in like 5 years. It's no big deal. Plug in more fruit trees.
And you've got room to expand, if you need more flat, super sunny vegetable areas.
Well, and I was in Paris last year, and I saw really good crops of Swiss chard and beets growing underneath pear trees. Like really good crops. So, and I would just love to have that. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to go for. I kind of had individual pathways going to each keyhole right here, and stuff just kind of comes up. I just need to keep pulling the grass as I do my morning walks, and then it'll always look much better. The grass is really the pain. I don't worry about other stuff. Every other stuff always has a use. Just to point something out. I don't know. Everything's pretty obvious, but even this just for flower use. I think they call this buttercup, and I think it is a poisonous leaf. But the bees love it, and it's pretty. It's these beautiful yellow flowers mixed throughout, so I leave it. And I could always have animals in the system, but since I don't live here, my parents were like, well, when you move here, you can get chickens, you can get ducks, whatever you feel like, but you have to live here. So maybe that'll happen. Gosh, that would actually be cool just to stay here, but I don't know. This is this is the true medicinal comfrey.
You got some bumblebees going to town.
Yeah, they love it. My bumblebees are super happy here. I never have problems. I've always kept honeybees, and they've always been a big pain in the butt. But the bumblebees are just nonstop. They're always working it, and they love the comfrey. And this is kind of a different looking comfrey.
So, and then medicinally, what would you use this for? Yeah, that's an amazing flower.
Rubbing it on wounds, and then as a tea. Yeah, and I would even chop it up in a salad, because they say it is medicinal. So the plant medicines, to a certain extent, will harm the liver. But I wonder how much you really have to make. I think you've got to make quite a bit. It's
got a little bit of a cucurbit taste to it.
This is lovage, I think.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen it flower.
Hmm.
I should, now that I know it's here, I should make sure that it's protected. See, I pull up, when I ordered black dirt a couple years ago, there was wild lettuce in the black dirt. So this stuff has been popping up all the time. You can kind of eat it if you want to, and some people have tried to get the latex from it to smoke it or something.
Right.
Or, you know,
I tried cutting the stem and collecting the milk, and we made a wild beer out of it, and that was actually awesome.
Whoa!
Yeah, and that's a staple of, you know, back when doctors carried black medicine cases, lettuce milk was an old-time medicinal.
Lettuce milk.
Yeah.
I love it.
You collect that milk, you cut it, collect the white stuff, dry it, cut it, collect the white stuff, dry it.
Yeah. Well, if
but a lot, you know, time consuming.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, here's my oregano patch.
Mm-hmm.
Oregano. Really loving the oregano. Oregano here. I've just been really trying to encourage it. There's a good oregano spot over here that's crossed over, mixed with the grapes.
So, so if I may, tell me a little bit about the highest and best for you and for this land, you know, 10 years from now, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now.
Yeah.
What do you want it to be? What do you, you know, and how are you tracking your progress towards that?
That's a good question.
I mean, you're here, you're loving it, you're getting all kinds of yields in terms of exercise and living and health and, you know, teaching environment, learning environment. But what do you want it to be? You know, children, grandchildren, do you have any kind of thoughts about that?
Yeah, I see. I always thought that was the main point. That's why I wanted to do it across the road for my folks, because it seemed like it could be that family sanctuary. You know, they say living grocery store. Like, my parents are almost 60 now, so I was thinking 10 years from now, they live 15 miles out of town. What's the situation? So let's have this established and ready for the family. I could see myself raising children here, but it is a very long winter, so I would like to do something seasonally instead. But I could definitely see myself here from maybe late April until Halloween or something, and maybe even Thanksgiving. That would be a good idea on the catnip. I should do that too. I think I actually found this at, growing like on the side of a ditch, and I brought it over and planted it next to my rhubarbs here. A lot of onions too. Okay, and so it was always kind of this idea as a sanctuary, like my retirement plan, my insurance plan, my 401k. That's kind of what it was. I thought it was the most secure thing I could do.
Right.
As far as having people here as a learning center, I wasn't quite so sure, because it is kind of a little more personal with my family being right across the road, and I wasn't so sure. So I was thinking maybe in Hawaii that would be better to have that space there, more of a public space. And really now it was just a matter of replacing that teepee with a cottage, some kind of cozy waterproof cottage where it would be comfortable to bring people there, and then move the teepee probably into the eastern meadow somewhere, and then and just keep expanding. You know, every year I'll probably spend maybe 400, 500 on bare root trees I'm going to start ordering just from Lawyer Nursery probably now, and then just kind of keep doing more hugel beds and planting out where I can. My zone 5 is pretty close to here. I mean, I reach over there pretty fast, so I don't feel like expanding too much more, but I'm just going to keep looking for open gaps wherever maybe something dies, put something new, keep adding more nutrients to the soil, doing the sprays, wood chips for pathways. I think mostly that's where I'm at now, is just keeping the pathways wide and protecting the trees, putting nice circles of wood chips around each tree, and then just kind of watching everything succeed. It's really, at this point, it popped probably 2 years ago, where it really just took off and everything was super green. So, and it's such a mix, like really, like right here we have rhubarb, catnip, catmint, oregano, grapes. There's a wild grape in there, and then there's a cultivated grape. There's some Jerusalem artichokes. There are these kind of wild little guys, I don't know what they are. These guys are wild. There's some mullein, so it's a really healthy mix. Leaves pretty soon. I'm just gonna go from the bottom. I feel like the deer don't even know where to start. You know, it's just rabbits and woodchucks. But it was still really covered with grass.